Start with a quick injury report. DeMarvin Leal was taken off the field evaluated. He had a little difficulty breathing. We don't think it's significant. KZ had an ankle injury of some description. He's being evaluated as well, maybe a day or two. Alfonso Graham appeared to have a shoulder injury when he fell and hit the ground, and he's also being evaluated. Non-injury related, man, I excused Minka for a few days. Man, he's dealing with a personal matter. He's being excused, and he has my support. A couple other guys limited by a variety of reasons, but that's just minor things associated with this time of year as we continue to acclimate ourselves to this environment, the work, and the process. Speaking of that, I just really love what transpired today. I love when we're faced with challenges. Today it came in the form of weather conditions. It's an important component of development. You get an opportunity to develop necessary skills that allow us to operate under these circumstances. You also get to show skills. I called the group up in the midst of it and talked directly to them about it because I wanted them to feel it. Oftentimes when you get weather like we got today, it's difficult to stay on your feet. And in the secondary, for example, and we got to do a great job of staying on our feet in conditions like this. The throwing and catching of the football on the offensive side and the common sense adjustments associated with that component of play. The ball security component of play from an offensive perspective. Flip side of that, the ball search opportunity on the defensive side of the ball in conditions such as this. And so that's what this process is about. We never complain about challenges that we get in team development. It is an opportunity for growth, and that's what today was about. And so we'll learn from it, and hopefully we'll perform a little better in some instances than we did today under those conditions. You know, we got 17 regular scheduled opportunities, man. All of them are important. Weather conditions can't be a factor in terms of the quality of our play. And opportunities like this really give us an opportunity to make that point, to learn and grow and develop the necessary skills in order to make that reality. I'll pause and open it up for questions.
Mike, talking to some of the veterans, they talk about always helping the younger players, educating them, sharing their knowledge. Is that something that you encourage? Because people are still out here battling for jobs and trying to earn a place on this team.
It's something that I encourage. I think it's a component of our culture that we value. Formal and informal learning, coach the player, player the player. We don't care about what means the developmental process happens, and particularly the veteran player is a source of information and experience that eases the process for young people. And so the veteran players here know that we're going to need plays from these young guys, and so they're just doing their part to help them in terms of their readiness.
Mike, with that said, Nick Herbig talked earlier about picking some things up from TJ already. Have you noticed any extra juice from him to start this camp?
I have not.
I mean, when you have a guy like Nick who's a rookie who's coming into this thing fresh, and he's trying to get reps, how much more of an emphasis is learning from a guy like a TJ?
I appreciate TJ's willingness to help him, but that's not TJ's responsibility. But that's just a component of the team. I just don't want to make more out of it than what it is.
Mike, earlier today, James Harrison was named to the Hall of Honor. What was it like coaching James?
It was a treat, First of all, man, James loves football. James is a good teammate. James is a hard worker and tremendous competitor. And heaped on top of all of that, man, he was an awesome character, man. He was a guy that brought energy and laughter to our day. Just an awesome guy, man, and well-deserving of the honor.
His ability to keep things light, maybe one of the things people don't realize about him?
There's a lot of things that people don't realize about him, but he's a complex individual. I think that's why that those of us that have gotten the opportunity to know him really appreciate him.
Mike, Aaron Smith's going in as well. He was here today. Heath went in last year, was also here to be honored. What's it like for your guys on the roster to be able to see players of past that are getting that honor, to be able to come in and interact with them?
I think anytime our guys get an opportunity to interact with Steeler alumni, man, it's a benefit to them. We value that here, the oral history, the telling of how things were. And not only the guys that are being honored, we appreciate them, but, Santonio Holmes was here today, and, man, I had a nice moment watching him and George Pickens, for example. We appreciate those Steelers for life and what they bring to us, not only in terms of words and inspiration and guidance, but just you know, the knowing of the standard that is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that work has already been done.
Like,
How do you characterize Aaron's personality versus James?
A little bit more predictable.
I think you've thrown 5, 6 different guys at slot corner so far. Is there anything specific you look, or is that just time will eventually, work its way out?
We got great time. We got a lot of guys that show capabilities in that area, and what we're doing there is we're just not discounting anyone. We're giving everybody an opportunity to show what they're capable of, and obviously, as the road gets more narrow in this process, we'll reduce some of those numbers, but during this acclimation period, it is a great time to see who can execute assignments and in detail and so forth. And as we move into next week, man, tackling and things of that nature usually thins the herd.
Mike, one guy I don't know if we've asked you about since the spring is Hakeem Butler. Kind of an interesting backstory with him. What attracted you guys to him, and what does he have to show to maybe get some second team work?
We were interested in his big playability when he came out of Iowa State a number of years ago. It was a guy with somewhat of a short football resume, more of a basketball guy growing up, and we saw upside in that. He was a big-time one-on-one playmaker. We've kind of followed him and tracked him. He did similar things in the spring league this year, man. We had an opportunity to sign him, and time will tell in terms of the reps, man. People are working where they're working right now, but we're still acclimating. We're not overreacting to things that are transpiring out there at this point and changing groups and things of that nature. He'll get plenty of opportunity to show his capabilities.
Anyone else? All right.
Great. Thanks, guys.